This DVD contains 4 videos based on Revelation chapter 14, verses 6 through 12. They are the first angel's message, the second angel's message, attack on the Sabbath and the coming Sunday law, the third angel's message. The first angel's message, Revelation chapter 14, verses 6 and 7. In Revelation 14, God reveals an awesome last-day message coded in the symbolism of 3 flying angels. They are the 3 angels' messages. So significant are these messages that when they are completed, Jesus will return. The first angel's message. Revelation chapter 14, verse 6. Then I saw another angel flying in the midst of heaven, having the everlasting gospel to preach to those who dwell on the earth, to every nation, tribe, tongue, and people, saying with a loud voice, Fear God and give glory to him, for the hour of his judgment has come. And worship him who made heaven, the earth, the sea, and springs of water. Fear God. This means we should revere God and look upon him with love, trust, and respect, eager to do his bidding. Give glory to him. We fulfill this command when we obey, praise, and thank God for his goodness to us. The hour of his judgment is come. This indicates that everyone is accountable to God and is a clear statement that the judgment is now in session. Worship him. This command rejects idolatry of all kinds, including self-worship. The eternal gospel includes the creation and redemption of the world by the Lord God of heaven. He created the heavens, the earth, the sea, and all that is within them. Those who worship God as Creator will discover their true roots. They will understand the price that was paid. How the Creator left his throne in heaven, lived, suffered, and died to redeem his creation. Every person on earth will have an opportunity to hear and understand the everlasting gospel of the 3 angels' messages. God bless you. The second angel's message, Revelation 14, verse 8. The second angel's message of Revelation 14. Revelation 14, verse 8. In Revelation 14, God reveals an awesome last-day message coded in the symbolism of 3 flying angels. They are the 3 angels' messages. So significant are these messages that when they are completed, Jesus will return. The second angel's message. Fallen, fallen is Babylon the Great, which made all nations drink of the maddening wine of her adulteries. Revelation chapter 14, verse 8, New English Version. The Tower of Babel. The name Babylon originated at the Tower of Babel, which was erected after the flood by the defiant pagans who hoped to build it so high that no floodwaters could ever cover it. But the Lord confounded their languages, and the resultant confusion was so great that they were forced to halt construction. Thus Babylon equals confusion. Later, in Old Testament days, a worldwide pagan kingdom named Babylon arose, which was an enemy of God's people Israel. Babylon, it embodies rebellion, disobedience, persecution of God's people, pride, and idolatry. In the New Testament book of Revelation, the term Babylon is used to signify a religious kingdom that is an enemy of God's spiritual Israel, His church, Revelation 14:8 and 16:19. Revelation 14:8, she made all nations drink of the wine. Wine equals teaching of false church. Man's way, not God's way. The second angel solemnly states that Babylon is fallen, and the voice from heaven urges all of God's people to come out of Babylon at once. Revelation 18:4, come out of her, my people, that ye receive not of her plagues. For her sins have reached into heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Revelation 18:5. Maybe you currently attend a church and are still unsure about your faith. Or do you still wonder who God is and what He stands for? Who or what do you turn to for understanding? Think about it. Could you possibly be in Babylon now? Satan is rounding up his forces for his final deception on planet Earth. He is looking to deceive and confuse God's people any way possible. What final urgent appeal will Jesus make to those who are in Babylon? He will say, come out of her, Babylon, my people, that ye be not partakers of her sins, and that ye receive not of her plagues, for her sins have reached into heaven, and God hath remembered her iniquities. Revelation 18, verses 4 and 5. The second of the three angels' messages. God bless you. Attack on the Sabbath, the fourth commandment, and the coming Sunday law. Attack on the Sabbath and the coming Sunday law. For the time will come when they will not endure sound doctrine, but after their own lusts shall they heap to themselves teachers having itching ears, and they shall turn away their ears from the truth, and shall be turned into fables. God has warned us against false teachers. The Bible gives us ways to test them. To the law and to the testimony. If they speak not according to this word, it is because there is no light in them. Isaiah 8:20. Today we have many teachers saying that God has somehow changed His law or even abolished it. But did God do that? My righteousness shall not be abolished. For all thy commandments are righteousness. Thy law is the truth, all thy commandments are truth. The truth of the Lord endureth forever. Hear ye the voice of the words. He declared unto you his covenant, even 10 commandments. My covenant will I not break, nor alter the thing that is gone out of my lips. The Lord is well pleased for his righteousness' sake. He will magnify the law and make it honorable. Think not that I am come to destroy the law or the prophets. I am not come to destroy, but to fulfill. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and have the faith of Jesus. Revelation chapter 14, verse 12. All his commandments are sure. They stand fast forever and ever. Psalms 111, verses 8 and 9. Forever and ever. How long? For as the new heavens and the new earth, which I will make, saith the Lord, it shall come to pass, that from one new moon to another, and from one Sabbath to another, shall all flesh come to worship before me, saith the Lord, even until the new heavens and the new earth are made. Blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have the right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates into the city. Revelation 22:14. We just read that the law of God, including the fourth one, the Sabbath, will endure forever and ever, that as the law of the Lord is perfect. So why are teachers today teaching the law has been abolished? Why do they try to destroy the truth about the Sabbath? Bishop T.D. Jakes and other critics of the Sabbath say that the seventh day was instituted to be a perpetual Sabbath rest, that it was never a 24-hour period. Man entered into the rest with the Lord on the seventh day, and there is no mention of days or works or labors anymore until Adam sinned. The seventh day was given no endpoint. On the seventh day, following the 6 days of a completed creation, God rested. Really? The word day, being yom in the Hebrew, is used for the previous 6 days. And it was evening and morning the first day, the second day, the third day, etc. Genesis chapter 1. Note that the result of the phrase evening and morning is the word day. The same Hebrew word is used for the seventh day as well, Genesis chapter 2, verses 1 through 3. We must remain consistent. If the seventh day was meant to be an unending day, then so were the previous 6 days, since the same resulting word, yom, or day, is used for them also. But this poses a problem for our critics. Because if the previous days were also perpetual days, then the first day would have never ended, and the second day would have never begun, which means that man would have never been created. But we have a more serious concern. Why is the Sabbath attacked so much? He shall think to change times and laws, Daniel 7:25. Of course, the Catholic Church claims that the change was her act, and that the act is a mark of her ecclesiastical authority in religious matters. Sunday is our mark of authority. The Church is above the Bible, and this transference of Sabbath observance is proof of that fact. During the Dark Ages, the Roman Catholic Church slowly introduced sun worship into Christianity in order to gain converts from the pagan nation. The pagans worshipped on the day of the sun, Sunday, and so the Sabbath was slowly dispensed with and Sunday was elevated. They, the Protestants, deem it their duty to keep Sunday holy. Why? Because the Catholic Church tells them to do so. They have no other reason. The author of the Sunday law is the Catholic Church. The following is an original document, a letter to a Protestant from a Roman Catholic Church. In it, they're admitting that they made the change. She made the change, and today she wants the world to obey her. The Pope is calling for global Sunday observance. Why? Because in keeping the Sabbath we show we are worshiping the true God of the fourth commandment that claims that God is the creator of the heavens, the earth, and the sea. And the Sabbath is the only law that calls God the true God, and Satan wants to be worshipped as God. I will ascend above the heights of the clouds. I will be like the Most High. So he sets up his own law, his own day of worship. The day of the sun. Sunday. But is not Sunday the Lord's day? The prophet says, I was in the Spirit on the Lord's day. We must let the Bible explain itself, line upon line, precept upon precept. Jesus said, for the Son of Man is Lord even of the Sabbath day. Jesus said he is Lord of the Sabbath. Isaiah says, if thou turn thy foot from the Sabbath, from doing thy pleasure on my holy day, and call the Sabbath a delight, the holy of the Lord. God through Isaiah says that the Sabbath is my holy day, holy of the Lord. The seventh day Sabbath is the Lord's day, not Sunday. But the enemy wants your worship. If we believe that religion is true, we should be reintroducing a criminal penalty for those who fail to attend church on Sunday. God wants us to keep his seventh day holy and not work on that day, not buy and not sell upon his holy day. But the enemy does not want us to buy or sell upon his holy day as well. And he causes all to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, that no man might buy or sell, save he that have the mark. The movement has begun. The European Union has set up the policy that every member state must have one day of rest during the week, but the policy explicitly states that the designated day needs to be on Sunday. It is so dangerous when people are divided over language, ethnicity, and religion. People need this world Sabbath. The whole world needs it. Christians will naturally strive to ensure that civil legislation respects their duty to keep Sunday holy, the Pope John Paul II says. Will you follow his mark? Will you obey the beast? Or will you obey God? And all the world wondered after the beast. You decide. It is time for thee, Lord, to work, for they have made void thy law. God bless you in your decision. The third angel's message, Revelation chapter 14, verses 9 through 12. The third angel's message. We learn from the first two angels that God is serious about who and how we worship. The first angel. Fear God, seek and accept Jesus Christ, live a life of obedience to God's law. The second angel. Babylon is fallen. She rejected the first message. She holds to false doctrines. Though the majority rejects these messages, yet God in his mercy sends but one more angel. A third angel. And the third angel followed them, saying with a loud voice, if any man worship the beast and his image and receive his mark in his forehead or in his hand, a beast represents a nation, Daniel 7:23. In the video identifying the Antichrist, we learned that this beast is the papacy. But what is his mark? Third angel. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. The third angel warns us not to take the mark of the beast. But before we find what the mark is, we must first learn what the seal of God is. You'll find that the mark is just the opposite. Bind up the testimony. Seal the law among my disciples. The seal is contained in the law of God. But which law? Moreover, I gave them my Sabbaths to be a sign, and hallow my Sabbaths, that they shall be a sign between me and you. Verily my Sabbath shall be kept, for it is a sign between me and you throughout your generations, that ye may know that I am the Lord that does sanctify you. The Sabbath is the seal of God. After being told to obey the Sabbath by the first angel, now those obeying their God will be sealed by his Sabbath law. Because the Sabbath is the only law that calls God the Creator, the enemy wants your worship, but all will know we worship the true God by obeying his sign of ownership. We find that the beast in his image deceives the people of the earth. Satan's primary way of deceiving is by counterfeiting the things of God. He even wants to be God. I will be like the Most High. And since he wants to be worshipped as God, what better thing to counterfeit than the Sabbath, the only law that says that God is to be worshipped? The mark of the beast is a counterfeit of the Sabbath, the seal of God, a Sunday law. Sunday is our mark of authority. The church is above the Bible, and this transfer of the Sabbath observance is proof of that fact. Of course, the Catholic Church claims that the change was her act, and that the act is the mark of her ecclesiastical power. I heard another voice from heaven saying, "Come out of her, my people," Revelation 18:1. The Pope is calling for global Sunday observance. The same shall drink of the wine of the wrath of God, which is poured out without mixture into the cup of his indignation. And he shall be tormented with fire and brimstone in the presence of the holy angels and in the presence of the Lamb, and the smoke of their torment ascendeth up for ever and ever, and they have no rest day nor night, who worship the beast and his image, and whosoever receiveth the mark of his name. Revelation chapter 14, verses 10 and 11. Here is the patience of the saints. Here are they that keep the commandments of God and the faith of Jesus. Revelation chapter 14, verse 12. God bless you.